Yo, Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. State and local federal taxes by income group. We're in the United States of America. The blue lines sticky up are how much more you have to pay in tax the more you get paid. That's the blue federal taxes in blue. Yeah. So the more you get paid, more part of your wages goes to paying tax. Yeah, percent of income. Yeah, that's right. So more percent of your income goes to tax, the more you get paid. Stepping upwards, that blue line, those blue sticky up ones. In red is state and local taxes, which is rather interesting because it's the other way round. The less wages you get, the less salary you get, the less incoming you have, the more of a percentage you have to pay in state and local taxes, and that steps down completely against the way the run of the federal taxes. And the richer, or the more and more you get paid, the less and less percentage of that is taken in state and local taxes. It's just odd that if one is what you might call right, then the other's wrong. Or are they designed so they balance each other out? It's an interesting one. And if people wanted to do redistributive more, they could start swinging those state and local taxes over to the more you get paid, the more you pay in state and local taxes, to share the burden somewhat. Moving over to the left coast, California, and this is John Chang's, he's the money man for California, his report on how things are going. The left-hand column is August 2012 compared with his budget, the budget that he did. So we're not particularly interested in the left-hand column. That's just how John Chang's doing. Okay, the right-hand column is how California is doing in 2012 as compared to 2011, which is a bit more interesting. Total revenues are down slightly, but not tragically, but down 5.5%. Income tax, obviously they've had a bit of a income tax hike there in California, and they've got more income tax in. They've got 11.6% more income tax in. Sales tax, and this is the reason that I've put this one up, sales tax being down 20% I think is quite significant. This is showing that the consumer is not out there consuming. Corporate tax, I have no idea what's going on there. It's down 70%, and if you can see in the left-hand column, Changi knew it was going to go down 70%, so I imagine there's been a bit of a law change there. But if you look into the rest of this document, housing's doing quite well. Nothing's collapsing in California. The housing prices have come up some more. They've sold some more houses. There's not a great collapse going on in that department, but the sales tax is down. I think it will be representative of an overall thing where the consumer, 70.46% of the GDP number, is not out there hitting like it has in the last 40 years. Sales tax is down 20%. As goes California, will go the rest of America. The basic thing is, as I've been pushing this week, and I'm just capping it off here, consumers aren't going to be consumers in the future. They'll have this little idea to want to be returning to being people. Okay. Right, I'm going to read this by Dean Baker about the Chicago school teachers giving us a lesson, because I think it is a bit of a lesson. We don't know the final terms of the settlement yet, but it appears that the Chicago public school teachers managed to score a major victory over Rahm Emanuel, Chicago's business-oriented mayor. Testing will not comprise as large a share in teachers' evaluations as Emanuel had wanted. There will be a serious appeals process for teachers whom the school district wants to fire, and laid off teachers will have priority in applying for new positions. Now, I know a little bit about Chicago school teachers and whatever, but let's just say being a Chicago school teacher is not what we might call the most desirable job on the planet. If these seem like narrow, self-interested gains for the teachers and their union, think again. Teaching in inner city schools is difficult and demanding job. Most of the children in Chicago's public schools are poor. The families are struggling with all the issues presented by poverty. Many of the schools are in high crime areas and serious crimes often take place on school premises. It can be a lot harder job than working for a hedge fund. It will not be possible to get committed and competent people to teach in the public school system if they cannot be guaranteed at least a limited amount of job security and respect. The $70,000 annual pay that was ridiculed as excessive by so many pundits would not even be a week's salary for many of the Wall Street types who do nothing more productive than shuffle paper. Now, I've gone into the whole thing of reading those 4 paragraphs because I think this is a question that everyone will be asking themselves in the future, small future, coming future, short-term future. Do you want people like Chicago teachers to get a pay rise, which I think's something like 18% over 4 years, I think, when they're already being paid $70,000? Or do you say, with the little brackets that isn't said behind it, I'm only getting paid, so they should not be getting paid that glorious amount of salary? Because what I'm saying is, worker is being pitted against worker, and each one is being mentally directed to go and say, no, he shouldn't have that because I've only got this. What I'm saying is workers are now dragging workers down to the lowest common whatever it can be forced to be low. Yeah? All solidarity is being broken down, and workers are dragging themselves down in the race to the bottom. They are racing each other to the bottom, tripping each other over in their desire to get to the bottom. Yeah? That is our future. Do we want this race to the bottom type future? Or do we applaud Chicago teachers' unions for sticking up to Rahm Emanuel and getting something more? Your choice. Finish with this thing. It's the weekend. I did this 2 or 3 weeks ago. This is from the breakdown of what Americans do at the weekend. And it's, you know, everything was in there. I went back to it. I was called back to it for another reason and had more of a look at it. And this is the breakdown of leisure over 1 day of a weekend. Playing games, 8 minutes. You know, this is everybody divided by, and this is a weekend day, a Saturday or a Sunday. So 8 minutes playing games. And this one, 6 minutes being on the computer / internet. Reading 16 minutes. Other 18 minutes. Reading 16 minutes. And only 6 minutes on the internet. Doesn't seem much to me. Is this video going to be more than 6 minutes long? I think it is. So you're probably not watching it. So I'm not talking to you. So you don't know whether I say have a good weekend or not. Bye.